President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi and his Angolan counterpart João Lourenço held talks in Cairo on Tuesday, which centered on bilateral ties, in addition to regional and African issues of mutual concern. The two sides discussed mechanisms to boost the work of the African Union and expanding continental integration. More details in the coming report.
President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi held talks with his Angolan counterpart Lourenço in Cairo on Tuesday. Speaking at a joint press conference following their talks, President el-Sisi said their talks witnessed an agreement in visions and reflected a joint political will to alleviate bilateral ties in various fields. He said the talks tackled means of boosting bilateral relations and expanding joint cooperation with the African Union as well as African peace and security. President el-Sisi said they had discussed mechanisms to boost the work of the African Union and expanding continental integration. According to the head of state, intensifying efforts to keep the stability and security of the African Union were also on the agenda of their talks. President el-Sisi expressed Egypt's readiness to offer all support for Angola, especially in the fields of security, defense, health, media, tourism, agriculture, fighting corruption, renewable energy diplomacy, and developing state institutions. He said the vision by the Angolan president for the chairmanship of the African Union during this year also topped the agenda of the talks, especially toward development in the Horn of Africa, Sudan, fighting terrorism and events in the DR Congo. For his part, Lourenço, who is the current chair of the African Union, said his country was keen to cooperate with Egypt in different fields and called on Egyptian companies to work in infrastructural projects in Angola. In this respect, he said his country cooperates with Egypt in the fields of pharmaceuticals and communications, in addition to combating terrorism. On the escalating situation in Gaza, he called on the international community to shoulder its responsibility to end the crisis, stressing that establishing an independent Palestinian state with East Jerusalem as its capital is the best way to solve the Palestinian cause. Meanwhile, the two sides signed a number of deals and memos of understanding in the fields of communications, information technology, housing and infrastructure.
President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi on Tuesday received a phone call from Iraqi Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani. Presidential spokesman Mohammed al-Shinawi said the phone call tackled preparations for the upcoming Arab Summit, which is stated to be held in Baghdad next month. President el-Sisi stressed Egypt's confidence in Iraq's ability to lead Arab cooperation during the next year. For his part, al-Sudani appreciated President el-Sisi's gesture, expressing his country's keenness on achieving a comprehensive Arab consensus on regional issues, especially the Palestinian cause. Their telephone conversation also tackled the latest developments in the Middle East region, including the situation in Gaza Strip and ongoing efforts exerted by Egypt to reach a permanent ceasefire. Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli presided over a cabinet meeting on Tuesday to discuss a number of political, economic and social files on the government agenda. The meeting also tackled the Prime Minister's tour in Egypt's future for Sustainable Development Authority. The tour took place upon directives of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi for the government to cover and facilitate all people's needs and continue exerting efforts to decrease inflation and increase spending on pivotal sectors such as health, education and social protection. Minister of Foreign Affairs, Immigration and Expatriates Badr Abdelati on Tuesday stressed Cairo's support for the unity and stability of Somalia and for its national institutions. During a phone call with his Somali counterpart, Abdeslam Abdi Ali, the top diplomat, reiterated Egypt's support to all efforts to achieve security and stability in Somalia. Abdelati stressed strong ties between Egypt and Somalia, which have been alleviated to the level of strategic partnership during the visit of the Somali president. For his part, the Somali foreign minister expressed appreciation to efforts by Cairo in support of his country at various levels. He valued Egypt's participation in the AU delegation sent to support stability in Somalia.